So I'm in portrait mode. I'm proud to be in portrait mode. I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's since 2014. And then right now I had 2 brain surgeries. That means there's a battery here that is shocking the brain every now and then, which means you cannot shock me, I shock myself. So basically, there is one person, there is my son Sumukh is in the audience somewhere here. Thank him for being here. And then there is one person I want to dedicate this talk to. It's my wife Kavita. She couldn't be here. And thank you. I call her the goddess with mood swings. She brings the goddess part all alone. I evoke the mood swings part. So years ago, she asked me to go to the grocery store. She said, bring me 3 things: tomato, tamarind, and tur dal. I'm a writer. I've been writing since I was 10 years old. I immediately got fascinated with alliteration: tomato, tur dal, and tamarind. Tomato, tur dal, and tamarind. I kept remembering what a beautiful alliteration. When I went to the store, I forgot what that alliteration was, but I remember it's an alliteration. I was thinking, is it avocado, asafoetida? No. Then I didn't want to go back empty-handed, so I went with beans, brinjal, and broccoli. But she wouldn't appreciate the fact that I didn't go back with 30 items. I only went back with 3, and it's also an alliteration: beans, brinjal, and broccoli. But she wouldn't appreciate that fact. That was the last time she sent me to a grocery store. And then I also learned that she has mood swings because when she says the 80-20 rule does not apply in our home, which means that if I do 80% of the job, she will not give me even 20% appreciation. For example, she was having a work call at 11:15. She said, switch on the gas stove at 11:15. I said, yes. I switched on the gas but didn't light the stove. 80% of the job is to switch on the gas, right? So what happened was the house is smelled with gas. I didn't know something is wrong. Somebody is doing something out there. She came out fuming. It didn't turn out to be that good. So basically, she still loves me. We've been married for 30 years. Don't ask me for any marriage tips because as a husband, I'm still halfway there. So that's why I dedicate this act. As late last year, I was in landscape mode and she had to arrange me in the bed instead of arranging the bed. And then that's when we decided to do the brain surgery, 2 of them in February 9th and February 14th. So when I talk, stand-up comedy is new to me. I'm 53 years old. I've never done comedy. So, but when I tried to tell Parkinson's jokes, people would not laugh. And then I found that people would, sometimes I got some feedback that they were wondering, should I laugh at somebody's problem? What will the person sitting next to me think? So I want to tell you a story. As 10 years into Parkinson's, right, I was taking 32 tablets a day, but the efficacy was going down, but the side effects were increasing. So Parkinson's patients will jump to any clinical trials when angels fear to tread. Any clinical trial, I'll say, I'll sign up. One such drug was Repentrol. I was shaking a lot, and then he said, take this drug, it's $26 a tablet. I got 60 of them. He said, take this, it will stop shaking. It did stop shaking, it stopped everything. So basically, I said 6 hours I was frozen. I was like imprisoned in my own body. And then finally I got out and made a call to the doctor saying that this is what it is. I can't take this anymore. He said, what did you do with the other 59 tablets? I said, no, I still have them. Throw it away. He said, no, I'm not going to throw it away. I said, what are you going to do? I'm going to give a comedy talk at Inc. conference if somebody is not laughing. I made a note of all the people who are not laughing here. So if I invite you for tea, remember that I still have 59 tablets in the... So basically, I learned a lot of people are hypocrites. If I ask how many people like democracy, how many people like democracy? Others like dictatorship? See, even to raise your hands, you're thinking aloud. But what happens when a body acts like a democracy? It becomes a complicated thing, right? So basically, I want to pick up a glass of water and the hand says, no, Not now. I said, I'm thirsty. He said, no. We'll come get back to you. We have to pass some amendment we'll have to discuss with other party members. It's like, sometimes I don't know if it's democracy or whether it's a labor union. Strike, we are on strike for next 30 minutes. No, nothing doing. So it's very complicated. And I got into the residential B2B business, which is not what you are thinking. It's like bedroom to bathroom. It's a long distance. Long distance has a different meaning for me. It would take a long time to go to bedroom to bathroom. And people say, I have a beginner's mind, I had a beginner's body. Basically, I would have to wear diapers because it's long distance, right? So now I'm not wearing, I can't prove it to you, but I'm not wearing it. So basically, that's when I was thinking, what is good about Parkinson's? It's slow, right? So I said, the slow and steady wins the race. No, slow part is covered, steady part is not there. So I wanted to write a book called Slow and Wobbly Will Win the Race. I didn't complete it because it's very slow, right? And my friend Sterling, who is a close friend of mine, he also is diagnosed with Parkinson's. He is a better writer than me. I told him, Sterling, you should not have got Parkinson's. He said, thank you for saying it, but why specifically not me? I said, if you had not got Parkinson's, we both could have written a book and it will be called Movers and Shakers. Because you would be the mover, I would be the shaker. Now look what you did. You write a book, co-author a book, and it will be called Shakers and Shakers. Only in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, maybe spelling mistake, I might be able to sell it. But other than that, there is no hope for selling anywhere, right? And then I learned new things about new words, new reframes. Does anybody know what's fine print? It's like whatever is not fine, you print it in small letters. But when I was taking 32 tablets, this is how the fine print looks like. It'll take a while. One tablet, what are all the side effects there? It should be renamed as Stephen King horror novel. And then people said Parkinson's people have depression. I know why. They just read the fine print. That's it. Right? So basically, at some point, I also had a problem of, I could not speak. So Kavita or Sumukh, I had to call them. And I learned what is a whistleblower. Do you know what is a whistleblower? In my case, it's simple. Whistleblower, that's it. Because otherwise, how will I catch attention? So much that the neighbors would complain that your kid is making a lot of noise. My wife had to tell that it's not the kid, it's my husband. Right? So what happened, finally, on February 9th, I had this operation. First operation took 5 hours, 45 minutes. And the doctor said, there are some small problems that might happen. I said, what is that? It's a brain surgery, right? So if it touches any blood vessels, 1 or 2 organs might stop working. So that's not small, just to make it clear. And I was in operation room number 2 in Good Samaritan Hospital. My neurologist is a Chinese person. My neurosurgeon, Dr. Khan, is a Pakistani person. I am so glad that it happened on February 9th and not after the Asia Cup. Because I don't know, you never know. So basically, I was given anesthesia and I was just in the bed, I was just falling asleep. At that time, some equipment stopped working. And then they called Microsoft support, and then nothing would happen. And they called an in-house Microsoft expert, and it's called Tina. And she came and she fixed the problem like that. And I could not hear everything, but they said, how did you fix it? Tina was saying, I just tapped 2 times here and it got fixed. I was hoping that she will not tap 2 more times and it will stop working again. And then came the bombshell moment when the doctor said, I'm always fascinated. These things, after so many years, they still work on Windows 95. They work beautifully. I got a shock of my life. It's working on Windows 95 and they're being operated. And as soon as I finished my surgery, I put it in the suggestion box, please upgrade to at least Windows NT. I don't know whether they have done it or not. In the second surgery, I was hoping that, it's not been operation room number 2. It was in operation room number 12. And Dr. Khan came in. There were 9 people assisting him. And he asked a $1 million question, are you all excited about today? I said, come on, doctor, what is the time to ask? What if somebody says I'm not? What will you do? Luckily, all of them said yes. And then he said, you know, this, I don't like the orientation of the operating room table. Can you shift it by 90 degrees? And I said, oh, what's feng shui or what is this? But then I lost consciousness. When I woke up after 4 hours of second surgery, I was asking the nurse that did they finally change the orientation? And she was saying, what orientation? Orientation what? And then so the other nurse said, you know, he is from last 5 minutes he is talking nonsense. So don't ignore it. I still don't know whether they change the orientation or not. You have been a great audience. And thank you so much.
So we've actually, I've known Rajesh for a long time, and so we decided to do a project together. And he wrote this book called Unshaken, true to his... So he called me and said, when he found out he had Parkinson's, he called me and said, I think I'm going to write a book called Shaken Not Stirred or something like that. So
yeah, I did want to write it, and then I was afraid of James Bond franchise to come and do it. But then I told them there's a point that will make a difference between me and James Bond. Shall I tell you what it is? He is 007, I'm 0.007. That's what will make a lot of difference.